Right. And number 4 is going to be updating audience signals occasionally. So I'm not super excited about this one because audience signals are just like a light suggestion to Google of who we think is going to convert. It may or may not go with our suggestions, and it's going to be very hard to know for sure whether it has moved away from those audiences that we fed it in the audience signal section. The closest we can get to tracking that, quote unquote tracking it, is using the Insights tab in our Performance Max campaigns to see what audiences it's going after. Regardless, I do like to just kind of give it a little bump every once in a while of, let's how about you try this audience now? How about you try this audience, rather than just like setting and forgetting the audience signals that you used or maybe you set up like a year ago and they're just sitting there and Google's maybe far moved beyond those. Just giving it a quick update every once in a while. It doesn't have to be directly in the Google Ads campaign. It could be just updating your audience or your customer lists or whatever audience or custom segments are already connected to that audience segment. So yeah, definitely just give it an occasional change every once in a while. I just think that it's one way to sort of influence what's going on inside of that and see if you can get some incremental gains there. Number 5, I believe, number 5. Number 5 is going to be excluding mobile app placements from a what I like to call a full build PMAX. So where you're not doing feed only or asset only, it's just everything in one: search, shopping, YouTube, display, etc. So if you have that type of campaign, and for whatever reason you decide you want to exclude all mobile app placements, you can do so in the content suitability section. If you go to tools and setting, content suitability, you can manually, which is really annoying, but you can essentially, if you go to that section, go and exclude mobile app placements. Now, this will not get rid of every single mobile app placement, but it will get rid of a good chunk of them. So I definitely suggest this to a lot of advertisers, especially if you're finding Performance Max is not going your way in terms of performance. This could be one way to try to optimize that a little bit better, so you don't have kids, that are using their parents' phone, and your advertisement pops up and they're playing a game and they accidentally hit it, and you get a click, or you get a click within which then you have to pay for. So it's just one way to try to discourage that. Now, this isn't for everybody. Some people want to definitely be on mobile apps, but just something to consider. Next one here is going to be, this is less a hack and more just an underutilized tactic. So adding URL exclusions. I see a lot of people that they use URL expansion, or now it's called sort of like the text assets checkbox, and essentially just letting Google send ad clicks, performance ad clicks to whatever page on your site that feels is relevant for that particular user. Now, that can be great in some cases. It is kind of an option for scaling a campaign that's doing well, and again, in some cases. But you also need to make sure you're really staying on top of it. I don't see enough people doing that. So do make sure that you go to the report section, run a landing page report, and identify places on your site where Google is sending the traffic, and just make sure that it's still performing. It's not spending a ton or sending a lot of traffic there that isn't converting. Make sure you do periodically. Maybe it's once a month. It's hard to say. Every account's a little bit different, but even if it's just once a month, you check on the report, make sure that Google is not sending a much traffic to a page that doesn't make any sense, or it's just not working out. Go ahead and add that as a URL exclusion in that case.